Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our last chance qualifiers here at Grey Ogre Games. My name is Mick. I'm your host for today. We're watching the match here between Ryan Lowe on the left and Nicholas Lee on the right. Ryan, I believe, should be running another burn deck. We've got 3 burn decks in a row today. But we swapped out table 3 and table 4 because, well, table 4, table 4 was the burn mirror. So I don't think you'd enjoy that. I don't know. It'll be fun to watch though. But yeah, it was also what's his name? Samuel Yap, I believe. From the no, not Samuel. It would have been who's at table 4? But anyway, yeah, table 3, like sorry, table 4 we've seen before. Anyway, starts with Kevin Souls. Oh, this is fun. Nicholas is playing the humans deck. Let me get the life counter. So Nicholas looks like he's on the humans deck. Starts off with a champion of the parish. A really nice one drop or turn one play. Champion of the parish. Let us bring that cut up. There we go. So champion of parish, 1 white for a 1/1. Whenever another human enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on champion of parish. Ryan might be having to play control uh, the control role here, but a glory bringer. Sorry, not glory bringer. A glory bound initiate on turn 2 and passes the turn. So glory bound initiate, well, we don't really see much of that. Might want to get rid of the glory bound initiate before anything gets out of hand, but it looks like Ryan doesn't have any removal, so to speak. So it does get rid of the champion of parish because that can get out of hand really, really fast. He does have a lightning bolt as well in hand, so might want to get rid of that glory bound initiate first. Does take 3 damage off his sacred foundry. So these two decks are very, very well. The humans deck can be quite aggressive, so it'll be interesting to see Ryan's line of play. Okay, so Searing Blaze gonna get rid of that Glory Bound Initiate, and we are back to square one, I guess. No creatures on the battlefield, just lands. Let's see what Nicholas has got to offer. Okay, so another Glory Bound Initiate, and Ryan here maybe has to bolt it down. So probably bolt it and then cast the Eidolon of the Great Revel. Question is, do you take some damage from the bolt? Sorry, do you take some damage from the land? It looks like he's just going for basic mountain. Which, yeah, I think it's a better play. Like, I mean, you just go basic mountain. There's nothing much that you know. There's not much in the way of green that your deck requires. Maybe a Taka's Command. We haven't seen the deck list, of course, but Taka's Command could be one of those. Eidolon of Great Revel passes the turn. So this puts Nicholas under a little bit of pressure. That Eidolon of Great Revel can deal quite a lot of damage. Nicholas's deck mostly 3 drops. Maybe waiting for a Spell Queller here. Ryan gets him for 2 points of damage, and that brings Nicholas down to 13. Maybe he wants to cast a second Eidolon of the Great Revel. Is he being cheeky? Yeah, that is a dangerous play, and brings his life total down to 12. But Nicholas's deck mostly, 3 drops, 4 drops maybe? Probably needs a land here for Restoration Angel, but Restoration Angel also not that spectacular. It just passes turn, so he doesn't draw that land. Okay, so maybe not Restoration Angel, but Collective Company. Collective Company is still a very, very strong card. Ryan here probably going to look for his green source. No, instead he goes for another white source. Probably for the lightning helixes that he has in hand. Waiting for Nicholas to, of course, cast a spell with converted mana cost 3 or less. Gets him for 4. Brings Nicholas down to 9. And man, this is a precarious position for Nicholas. He almost cannot cast any 3-drop. So he needs that land. And just passes the turn. This is... wow. It's coming to a point where Nicholas can't really play stuff. And if he doesn't have the land this turn, I think he's done for. Alright, so he does have the land. Goes down to 3. Collector Company is going to be responded with a Lightning Helix to the face. Yep, and that's it. So, Ryan here able to take one game, that first game, against the other aggressive deck. Well, humans can, I mean, like you saw, humans can have like a crazy, crazy start. He went like turn 1, Champion of Parish, turn 2, the Glory Bound Initiate, and it potentially, Nicholas could have gotten out of, gotten quite a bit of life, especially from Glory Bound Initiate. You attack, you exert the Glory Bound Initiate, you gain a whole bunch of life, and then it becomes very difficult. It becomes apparent to the burn deck, I am not winning this race because you just gain 4 points of life. Okay, that's one, that's more than one 3-point burn spell. That is a Boros Charm, which you only have 4 in the deck. So gonna be a bit tough. Ryan here, considering his options, I believe you should be going for a bit more, burn, a bit more spot removal. I think that Ryan should be the control player in this game, and looks like he's not going to sideboard a single card, especially since your Searing Blazes are in the main board itself. So that's a pretty good, pretty good card against Nicholas's deck, which thrives on creatures. He needs creatures to deal a whole bunch of damage, whereas Ryan here can just use just now his 2 creatures. Eidolon of the Great Revel was dealing a whole bunch of damage on their own already. I'm wondering if Nicholas gotten one, the land the turn earlier, would that have mattered? Had he gotten one, a land a turn earlier, would have been able to cast that Collector Company, maybe put up some blockers. Would that have mattered, or would that have been enough? Yeah, we don't know what the 6 cards on top were, or at least the 5 cards on top, because he drew the land. He didn't draw anything of relevance until he drew the land. So nothing that would have prevented him from taking damage anyway. Alright, if you just joined us, you're watching the Last Chance Qualifiers here at Grey Ogre Games. It's part of our invitationals, and if you want to find out more, just go on down to greyogregames.com. The invitationals will be taking place on January 21st this year. And of course, the invitationals are for the top 16 players from last year who have been playing in the Grey Ogre Games seasonal qualifiers. That's held once every 4 months. But of course, we're gonna have a different format out this year. there's going to be more chances for you to be able to make it into the invitationals, to get invited for the invitationals. So yeah, we'll see. All right, Nicholas here taking a mulligan down to 6. And hopefully it doesn't mulligan any further than that. This is, I think, going to be a tough matchup. Like, Ryan needs his skull cracks to prevent any life gain that Nicholas might have. But I think there are some skull cracks in the main board. Wow, Nicholas here going to mulligan down to 5. And it's not impossible to win, but it's tough. It becomes really, really tough after mulligan down to 5. Especially against against Ryan's deck, which is very, very aggressive. Well, of course, Nicholas also has a very aggressive deck, so you know things might work out in his favor. Let's see. I'm gonna take a hand of 5, and looks okay. Gonna scry. Does he keep it? Keeps it on top. Nope. Bottom's the card. Must be gas. Oh, ever since Pilgrim. Right, okay. That's not something I would have expected. Ryan here going down to 17. Probably gonna look for a Sacred Foundry to cast maybe a Goblin Goblin Guide. Maybe. Does he have a Goblin Guide? Okay, so bolts the mana producer. Of course, Nicholas doesn't want to get bolted himself. Right here, playing the control player's role, or playing the role of the control player. A Noble Hierarch. I don't think it will matter much because a collected company, you're not going to stop a collected company anyway. He's got 3, 6, 9, 12, 13. He's just got burn spells in his hand. He needs a creature right now. Lao spike you down to 17. Talia here gonna stop a bit of shenanigans. Nope. Talia gets to stay. So that's what I love about Talia. Talia kind of warps the game a little bit. She, prevents you from casting spells normally that you were saving mana for that spell, and eventually you can't cast that spell anymore. So let's see, Skullcrack here. Ryan's hand is literally just full of burn. And just passes them, probably going to Lightning Helix away that Talia. Okay, so Talia's Lieutenant might hit the battlefield. And it does. I mean, like, there's nothing that Ryan can do to stop it. But a strong card anyway does get rid of the original Talia. So it enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on each other human you control, and then put a +1/+1 counter whenever another human enters the battlefield under your control, you put a +1/+1 counter on Talia's Lieutenant. I don't like what Ryan's doing here. He might draw into a Searing Blaze, which then he needs the land to fire off. Lightning Helix you down to 14. Skullcrack you down to 11. Okay, and here's where he just keeps the land. Thales Lieutenant gonna get in for some damage down to 20. Ryan here has had more than enough burn to close up this game. So let's see, does he have even more? Lightning bolt. That's 6 points of damage. He needs like a maybe a Boros charm. Mayor Everbuck here gonna add 3 points. 4 more points of burn onto the field. I think Ryan here can just 4 more points of damage on the field. He's gonna swing in for how much here? Okay, lightning bolt you down to 3. See, Goblin Guide 1 turn too late, I feel. Goblin Guide, swing in. Does block with the Mayor Everbuck, and that does get rid of the Mayor Everbuck, which is pretty good. But Nicholas here down to 5, I believe. Not sure what life gain he has, but there's a Skullcrack waiting for him if he tries to pull off anything. Reflector Mage, push you back. Okay. I think that should be fine. Ryan's looking for a 2 mana 3-point burn. Or like his maximum 2 mana 3-point burn. I believe Nicholas's life total should be at 5, right? Not at 8. I think you can just draw normally even. Okay, so here we go. Lava Spike you for 3 points. Skullcrack you for another 3 points. And Ryan just takes it out. Ryan just uses a whole bunch of burn spells. Bang, 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 burn, 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 burn. And Nicholas's life total drops from 20 all the way to 0. Nicholas didn't seem that he drew any of his sideboard cards either. So that's a bit tough. Anyway, we're going to go for a short break. That's the end of round 3. We're coming out with round 4. Looks like there's just burn. Lots and lots of burn. Everywhere is burn. We'll come back with round 4 in a short bit. But before we go, just want to remind you that you can join us on the stream every Tuesdays and Wednesdays, 8 p.m. Singapore time. If you like Final Fantasy, you can also join us on Friday, 8 p.m. Singapore time. Twitch.tv/GreyOgreGames. You missed those, it's okay. Head on down to youtube.com/GreyOgreGames. Watch all the replays. And last but not least, do visit our website, GreyOgreGames.com, to find out more about the invitationals. Okay, we're going to go for a short break. I'll put you on a replay of our normal weekday tournaments. So don't go away. We'll be right back.